Hey, welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In our previous videos, we have seen how break works in for loop. In this video, we will see how break works in while loop. So, in our previous video, we have discussed that break is a keyword in Python which is used to come out of the loop whenever a specific condition is met. So, to continuation for that, in this video, we will see how break works in while loop. So first we will discuss the while loop. So later we will discuss how we can put a break inside of the while loop. So for that reason, I will be taking the same example that what we have used in our previous video. So for that reason, I am taking a value and I will start with value with 1. So after that, I will use a while loop and I will mention the condition for this while loop is value is less than or equal to 10. So as long as this condition is true, we will be executing some statements, right? So for the time being, I will just print this particular value here. So after that, we need to have a statement that modifies this particular condition, right? So for that reason, what I will be doing is that I will increase this particular value by 1 so that it will change this particular condition after every iteration. So for that reason only I am mentioning value plus 1. If we don't mention this, it will go to the infinite loop. So now if I execute this, we can able to get the values from 1 till 10. So now if we wanted to exit from this loop after meeting a specific condition, we will be using break. So now we will first understand the syntax. After that, we will come to this example so that we can able to understand more clearly. So for that reason, we will discuss syntax first. So as like said, we will be having a while loop. So inside of this while loop, we will be having a condition, right? So we will be having a condition for while condition. This is while condition. As long as this condition is true, we will be executing some actions, right? So for that reason, I will be mentioning some actions. So after that, we will be having a statement that is used in order to modify this particular while condition, right? So for that reason, I will use a statement which is modifying statement. So by using this statement only, we will be modifying the while condition. So inside of this while loop, we can put this particular break condition whenever and wherever we want. So for that reason, first if I mention this break condition at the end, so we need to mention the break condition using if, right? So for that reason, I will be using if and I will mention if condition. So instead of mentioning if condition, I will use this as break condition. So when this break condition is met and if break condition becomes true, what we will do? We will break this particular loop. So when this condition becomes true, we will break this whole loop and come out of this loop. So we can put this particular break condition wherever we want it. At the starting of the loop, at the ending of the loop, at middle of the loop, wherever and wherever we want it. So if I put this particular break condition before, it will have some kind of an impact that we will be seeing this particular example. So for that reason, I am taking the same example that what we have discussed previously here also. I am taking that and if I execute this, we can able to see the values 1 to 10. Let's say if I want to break this particular loop as and when a specific value is met. So for that reason, first we will take the input dynamically from the user. So based on that, we can check the condition. So for that reason, I am taking a variable is break number. So I am taking this break number from input asking user to enter break break number. So now if I execute this, we don't get anything, right? So for that reason, we will first define the break condition inside of this for loop. So inside of this while loop, after that we will execute and we will check. So if I mention if condition with some condition, let's say if value this particular value, that is what we are using inside of this while loop in order to print this, right? So for that reason, this value is met with this particular break number here. What we need to do, we need to break this loop, right? So before breaking, we will just print the value and mentioning something like we are breaking this condition. For that reason, I am mentioning this is in break. So this is in break. I am mentioning that whatever the value that it, right? So for that reason only, I am mentioning this, and after that, I will mention break here. So now if I execute this, so it was asking to enter break number. Let's say if I give the value 5 here, so it was executing till the value of 4, and after that, whenever it reaches, the value reaches to 5, it was checking this condition, and this condition is met, and we are coming out of the loop. So this condition, this while loop, right? This while loop will continuously check this condition, as and when this condition becomes 5, this will come out of this loop. So I hope you have understood this logic, when and why we are coming out of this loop. So this value, this while value is continuously checking if this value less than or equal to 10, and inside of this particular while loop we have this if condition checking the value is equal to whatever the break number given by the user. So as and when the break number given by the user is equal to value, we will be executing this. This is a break, so we will be coming out of the loop. So now if I give some other number, let's say I will give number 12, we are continuously this particular for loop. We don't make this particular break. So for that reason, you can see we don't have this particular statement printed here, right? So I hope you can see the difference. Now, if I give one more number, let's say I will give 7 here. So we are printing till the value 6 only. If you wanted to print this particular 7, so what we need to do is that we need to mention this print statement, or we will mention this particular if whatever the break condition we have, right? So if we mention this particular break condition after this particular all the things, we were mentioning this particular break condition at the end. So now if I execute this and if I give the same number 7, we can see the number 7 is here. So now you can see the difference, right? So if I give number, let's say 8 here, so we still not print particular 8 here, and we are checking. The reason is because this value is incrementing here only. For that reason, it was not happening. We are not printing 8 here. So I will take this and I will put at the end. So now if I execute this and if I give 8 here, we can see this particular 8 is also printed before this particular statement, which is break statement, right? So now I hope you can able to see the difference. You can able. So this is the simple example. So now we will see one more example so that we can able to understand more clearly. For that reason, I will take a simple list, which is I will take the L and I will have an empty list. So list is an iterable, right? So what we will be doing is that we will iterate through, we will be having a loop, which is while loop, and we will add elements to this list by the user input. So for that reason, I am taking while loop. I am mentioning true. So as I mentioned true, this will go for infinite loop, right? So we will break that loop in middle, right? So by using this if and break condition, we will break that loop. So now what I will be doing is that I will ask user to enter something. So for that reason, I am mentioning element. We will take these particular elements to this list from the user. So for that reason, I am mentioning input. I will ask enter element to user. Enter element. So if user enters any element, we will be entering that particular element to list, or apart from enter element, or if user wants to quits this particular loop, what user need to do is that user need to enter quit here. So if user enter quit, we will be exiting from this loop. So for that reason, we need to check a condition, right? So for that reason, I am mentioning if this particular element is equal to, so if user enters quit, we will be breaking this particular loop. So that is what I am mentioning here. So after that, what if user does not give this particular quit? If user gives some other value, what we need to do? We need to add that particular element to this particular list. So in Python, we have a specific method is append. So for that reason, I am using l.append. By using this, we can add the element to this particular list. For that reason only, I am mentioning element. So now if I execute this, it was asking to enter element or quit. So now if I give, let's say like here, so it was not doing anything. If I give quit here, it was quitting. So before executing this, we need to do something, right? We need to know the values in this list. So for that reason, I am printing this particular list at the end so that you can see the difference. So before that only we will print. So here we are printing, and here also we are printing list. So here we will get the empty list. Here we will get the elements in the list. So now if I execute this, so we can see the printing result, which is empty list. So later, if I give, let's say, like here, so it was again asking file enter element or quit, because this is in the infinite loop, right? So for that reason only it was continuous asking. So if I give subscribe here, and it was again asking. So let's say if I give quit here, so it was quitting, and we can see the elements inside of this list, right? By using this statement, we are getting the element inside of this list. So all these things happening because of the we are using this break. So previously we need to have some struggle, right? So when this particular while loop go infinite loop, that becomes problem. So by using this break statement, we can have this infinite loop, and we can break the loop also. So to show you, I have mentioned and I have explained this example. So now I hope you can able to understand how this break works in while loop. So in the next video, we will see how break works in while loops. If you found this video interesting, hit the like button. I will see you in that video. So thank you for watching this.